understand that if they do have a lot of gas heat and things like that, where there's a lot of smoke in a house, that it could cause carbon monoxide to form and build up, and those detectors are good, like I said.
Right.
And a lot of times we get called because they're chirping, which means maybe just change the battery or something.
Exactly.
But there are legitimate reasons why there could be a carbon monoxide presence in the house, like the pilot light area under a gas furnace. The light could have went out, the flame could have went out, and it could be leaking gas out, which could cause a buildup of not only carbon monoxide but other gases. So.
The people that's watching by the way of TV and listening by the way of radio, what's better ways that it starts in the home? How can they protect themselves? Better ways of doing things?
The first thing I would say is make sure you have good smoke detectors in the house.
Okay.
That's a #1 priority. I do a lot of fire prevention for our department. I'm in charge of that, and go to a lot of schools, a lot of daycares, things like that, to tell the kids, because the kids do remember things, and you'd be surprised what kids remember. But smoke detectors, #1, have them throughout your house. Make sure you change the batteries twice a year. We recommend to change them when the time changes. When it was spring forward or fall back, change your batteries in your smoke detectors, because they will save your life. There's been studies showing that sometimes people don't hear them, but the majority of people will. And you can invest in a carbon monoxide detector. They're not that expensive. You can invest the ones that that plug into the wall in an outlet, or that are battery operated.
What if somebody still has like the old-fashioned chimneys in their houses and fireplaces?
Make sure you clean those chimneys. We have some chimney fires that start due to
rollouts.
And the the ash and everything that's built up, the soot inside the actual chimney. If they don't use it just like a regular heater, if they've not used their heating and air for a year or so, and that chimney's not been used, and that soot's built up, or a bird's built nests in there, or what have you, it could cause a fire hazard. And if somebody's living in an old home, like an old style home, they might even need to get their electrical wiring checked out. A lot of things, there's a lot of new codes out there today, and most people that have had homes built before a certain time had a different code they had to go to. And they hardly ever update unless they add on to the home. And we've been in homes where we've seen wiring that's really bad. Especially like in the basement areas that have not a finished basement, and you can see exposed how the wires are run and the type of wires they used. But it does cost to do that. If you have someone that's an electrician, have them check your home over, if you have questions about it, because it better be safe to do that than not do it and have a fire start due to bad wiring.
Exactly, and those old type fuse boxes that had the screw-in fuses and all that thing.
Those are a hazard. They were good for their time, but you don't see many of those anymore. Normally what you see are the ones with the breakers on them, not the actual fuses. And it's dangerous to even pull those fuses, those old-time fuses like that.
Well, a lot of people don't know the difference. There's differences between electrical fires from a gas fire, or like if you're cooking on your stove, a grease fire. All these different type of fires. Like a grease fire, it spreads so quickly,
and we see that during the holidays. People cook a lot, and they'll get a grease fire, and the first thing they want to do is pour water on it, and that's not what you want to do with a grease fire. You want to cover it. If it's on a pan or something, get a pot, a lid for a pot, and cover it. You can also put baking soda on it. You want to just pour it over it. There's different things, but the best thing is don't leave stuff unattended, because that's what causes, most of the time, that's what causes most of the fires, is people leave things unattended, whether it's food on the stove, whether it's a kerosene heater that's too close to drapes, or furniture, or anything like that. People think that they can put those within a foot of a couch, and some of the new ones are designed to not give radiant heat out to catch something on fire, but it still has a recommendation on them on the label that says put 3 feet away from any type of couch or anything like that.
Exactly. And I've heard stories in the past of people accidentally catching themselves on fire, like being standing too close to an open flame or something like that. What's a good way, like if somebody is on fire, to
the best thing to do is we teach the kids this, is stop, drop, and roll. It's a proven method most of the time, depending on what type of fire, what you have on you,
Right.
Unless it's some kind of chemical, or something. But if you stop what you're doing and don't panic, just stop and stay calm, drop to your knees, then get on the floor and roll, or if you're on the ground outside, roll, cover up your face so that you don't
Right.
hurt yourself when you're rolling. And you roll over one way, roll the other way, and keep rolling until the fire's out. Sometimes people, if they're around you, they can take a blanket or a jacket or something like that and pat it out. But, that's the best advice, to stop, drop, and roll.
Let's talk a little bit about some experiences. I'm very sure in these 8 years you've seen a lot of fires and you've seen a lot of different things. What's some things that really stick out in your mind, maybe saving somebody's life during a fire or something like that, of that nature?
Well, thankfully, since I've been on the department, I've not actually had someone in a structure that has been alive that I've had to physically go in and save.
Right.
Most of the time the people are out.